Welcome back to the channel, folks. This is Jeeping for Beginners. My name is Josh, and today we are going to be replacing hood latches on a friend's JK. We're going to show you why, we're going to show you how, and we're going to have a little fun doing it. So stay tuned and let's go. Alright, so for today's video, we're going to be installing hood latches on a JK. There is a difference between the hood latches on the JK and the JL Wrangler. Let me show you the difference here real quick. The latches on a JK Wrangler are actually made from an elasticized rubber designed to stretch and hold the hood in place. Whereas on the newer JLs, Jeep used a metal pin to hold the hood in place. So this video doesn't really apply to the 2018 or newer JL Wranglers or JT Gladiators. This is primarily for the JK Wranglers. Now, the reason that people like to have these hood latches replaced is because the hood bounces down the highway on the rubber ones. Here, let me show you on my JK what that looks like. The inspiration for this video came from a user on Facebook that specifically sent me a request to see how easy it is to replace the hood latches. I had already replaced mine a long time ago, and in a failed attempt, I tried to find the original ones so that I can make this video. But, alas, I was not able to. So I put out a call on a local Facebook group asking if anybody had original tie downs for their hood so that I can make this video. And I found an old friend of mine who actually was about to replace his hood latches with brand new ones on his wife's JK. So he was gracious enough to let us use his Jeep to show you how to do this. Let's take a look at his JK Wrangler.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
So before we get started on this project, let me show you the tools that you're going to need in order to accomplish this. Alright, so you're going to need a 1/4-inch drive and an extension, or a screwdriver with a 1/4-inch adapter, whatever you feel more comfortable with. You're also going to need a 10mm socket. You're going to need a 13mm socket, and it comes in real handy if you could have an adjustable, what we call a wobble head, or a universal joint in order to relocate how that's going to work. You're also going to need a flathead screwdriver, and that should be all the tools that you need in order to accomplish this.
Daddy Josh, what happens if I can't find my 10mm socket?
Okay, so yes, that is a common problem, but not one we're going to discuss in this particular video. We need to assume that you have a 10mm socket. So on this example, we are going to start on the passenger side of the Jeep, and we're going to have to remove a couple of things in order to get to these latches. The bolt that you need to get to is going to be buried deep in here. So we need to remove the airbox and remove the power steering fluid reservoir. Now don't let that scare you. It's actually pretty easy. Let me show you. During the process, at any point when you start removing screws, you should get yourself a little magnetic tray, which you can stick pretty much anywhere, and it'll actually hold on to the screws that you're taking off, so this way you don't lose them. Once the airbox and the power steering fluid reservoir is loose and out of the way, you want to grab your little wobble head or universal joint and your 13mm socket, And now you can access the bolt for the bottom part of this latch. Now we got the bottom one off. Now we got to get the top one off. That is once again your 10mm socket, and these really shouldn't be on there all that tight. That you've got the old latch removed, now it's time to install the new one. So like I said, this is not my Jeep, this is a friend of mine's. So let's see what latches he chose to have installed on this one. The old latches that came off have little rubber protections on them. This is to protect the paint on both the body and the hood. These can be removed, as most kits come with replacements, but there's no reason you can't reuse them, whatever you're more comfortable with. Most kits that you purchase offline, whether it be from a major retailer or even Amazon, are going to come with their own tools for the install. This is handy because then you don't need to actually have anything extra. Most of the screws are going to be unique to the kit that you choose. So first, we're going to install the part that goes on the hood because that's going to be the easiest. You want to find the rubber isolator that comes with the kit that matches the hole design that is actually on the latch itself. Now you'll notice that these holes are not perfectly centered. It gives you room for adjustment to be able to adjust where you want your hood, but we're going to show you that later. So using the supplied hardware, let's install this piece. Now to install the bottom bracket, this can get a little trickier unless you have really steady hands. I don't. I shake all the time, so this might take me a minute. So a lot of people ask, does it go in this way or does it go in that way? And you panic about it. The good news is most kits are going to come with little notches already built in that match the holes that are on the fender. So there's only one way that this can actually go on. Once again, this is the same size as the one that you took off, but getting it back on, yeah, this is going to be fun. So before you jump into doing the other side or just assume that everything's good, you should always do a test run. So let's close the hood and see if this lines up. Alright, so to move on to the driver's side, to remove this bottom latch, the real way to do it is to actually remove the washer fluid bottle and the little computer that's right here to be able to gain access easily. But since this is a video of Jeeping for beginners, there is a trick that you can do, but it is going to take a little bit of patience. We're going to use our ratchet, our wobble head, and our socket, and we are going to sneak in down this little hole right here. just like that, folks. It's actually relatively simple. They look good, they're functional. Now let me show you the difference of what your hood does with them attached. Folks, so now we're going to give the Jeep back to its original owner and get her reaction.
Oh my god, I love it! Thank you so much!
You're very welcome. These are the tools in case you ever need to take them off.
Okay.
You key back to your Jeep so that you have it, and then it's all yours.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
I love how they turned out. It looks so good, doesn't it?
It really does. And that's it, folks. It really is that easy, and we're happy that she's happy. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell icon so you get notified of our next videos coming up. And we will see you next time.
Bye.
Where is my 10mm socket? Can't find it anywhere.